All right, Shalom. First thing and foremost, I want to give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh. Bashim Yahweh Shai Bashim Kakodash. Double honors to the elders, the apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect. News in the gospel abroad, living up the standard behind Bashim Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. Astakia Mahalalia coming back with another quick lesson through the spirit and power Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Our Lord's will to be edifying. Uh, wow, you can tell these ain't two devils on the front of this page. Like, these people are straight demons, man. All right. This came out September the 2nd, roughly almost 2 weeks ago, about a week and a half ago. It says, a Florida couple arrested after shooting at black family returning U-Haul. Share the hatred for you Jakes is real. All right. And this is basically, you ain't seen nothing yet. Because these people, they're really starting to show their horns and their aggressions towards our people of color. And this is in their nature. Okay, if they had their way right now, it would be an all-out slaughter fest on you Jakes, which we're trying to warn you that this is going to be the case in the near future, that you're going to have tensions between Jacob and Esau that's going to get pretty much out of whack. And these Edomites are going to outright display their hatred for you, and it's your problem because, we're telling you that this man has nothing but hatred for you, and the fact that you Jakes, you still find a way on how to make things right with this man. You finding on a way to try to touch your soul, like what this nigga Martin say in Bad Boys. He said, I'm trying to touch his soul with my words. And then when Will tried to pull the same shit, Martin was like, no, I was going through something. So you Jakes, you steady trying to find the good in this man. There's no good in him. He wasn't made that way. He wasn't created for good. Okay, scripture said the Lord had made the wicked even for the day of trouble. All right, so there's no good in these people. This is what they're created for. And like I brought out in a previous lesson, that each and every last one of these people have what you call a devil gene in them. It just when it's activated or not. All right, so it says Charles McMillan Jr. in Kendrick. It says in Kendrick Clemens. It says believe they were racially profiled by Wallace and Beverly Fountain, who are both in their 70s. Okay, and the age speaks for itself. Okay, because usually devils that's up in that upper age, they lived through the time of the Jim Crow area and the civil rights movement. So they still have a lot of disdain for you Jakes, because they feel that you were given too many freedoms in Babylon, which really that was all a setup to pretty much put Jake back to sleep with this guy Martin Luther King, or Martin Luther King, that was set up to lead the civil rights movement, which he was nothing but an op anyway. Okay, he was a sellout. But anyway, it says here, an elderly Tallahassee, Florida couple is facing charges after allegedly shooting at two black men and a young black child who were just dropping off a U-Haul at a strip mall. Okay, so what was the motive for them shooting at Jake? All right, hatred, racial profiling. Okay, because of the simple fact their horns are showing. They're basically showing you who they really are in their spirit. All right, all the fun and games, walking, marching side by side with Esau, Edom. That's all a damn hoax. All right, these people, they don't care about you Jakes, man, because as buddy as you are with them, as soon as you go home, they're calling you all types of niggas and spics and shit behind your back, and they're plotting on how to rule you out. Like this guy Trump gonna say, oh, systematic racism doesn't exist. Yes, it does. It exists heavy. Because primary example, right? I'm at work right now, so I got called to the shed today. They wanted me to do some work around the shop, right, to basically coerce me into letting somebody else use my work truck. Okay, but peep this. According to the rules and regulations of this agency, you're not supposed to cross-contaminate during what they call a pandemic. All right, so I noticed that they've been swapping a lot of Jakes out of these different vehicles, and they've been pairing a lot of Jakes up, but they're not supposed to do that. But yet they send these emails out talking about, well, nobody should be hanging out at the shop, nobody's supposed to be in each other's trucks and this and that. But yeah, you blatantly telling us that we gotta let each other swap each other's truck, putting us in the same truck, even though the COVID is bullshit. But the fact that they're not following protocol, and the fact that I'm hanging out at the shop alone, but nobody's supposed to be here due to quote unquote COVID. Show you that that's basically some backhand shit, because they don't do it to Esau. Like, you got two Edomites that work in the department that I work in, and they don't do shit. They just sit on their ass all day. But yet, why can't they share their trucks with the other workers? Why Jake gotta do it? See what I'm saying? So that's some left hand shit. And I called it out. I'm like, hey man, such and such, you should let me go use your truck to go get some food, because I'm stranded here. I need gonna take a lunch or something like that. He basically tried to blow me off like he didn't know what I said. You see what I'm saying? The double standard is real. But to show you how these devils really are. But it says, according to the Tallahassee Democrat, the incident occurred last Thursday night when Charles McMillan Jr. was with his young childhood friend, Kendrick Clemens, and dropping off the U-Haul at the Fountain Plaza on Alapache Parkway. It says the three had dropped off the van and were preparing to leave in McMillan's truck when they had heard a gunshot. But as they looked back, they saw the older white couple identified as Wallace Fountain, 77, and his wife Beverly Fountain, uh, 72, coming towards them brandishing guns. Whoa. But McMillan quickly drove away, hearing more gunshots as they fled. So they was trying to take them Jakes out. All right, and like I said, man, this is nothing new, and we're going to get it in the scriptures. But it says, but however, a police officer happened to be at the scene after the shooting and began to intervene. But according to the Democrat, the Fountains, who owned the strip mall, were in a U-Haul themselves, apparently staking out the location after allegedly having issues with people stealing gas. But yeah, but that don't mean that Jake was doing it, okay? Because how many people then came and dropped off U-Hauls that was of Edomite ethnicity and nothing happened to them? Okay, so that was basically profiling Jake. But it says, but however, McMillan and Clemens said that the couple turned vigilantes never asked them any questions. They just started shooting. So the man believed that the shooting was racially motivated. Okay, it says they saw three black people unarmed dropping off a U-Haul. McMillan said they got guns. They started shooting. That's why it was racially motivated. But Beverly Fountain, who worked as a secretary for the state's attorney's office until and retired in 1996, and those are the most racist devils. You know, those are the ones that got the children of Black Wall Street. You know, Tulsa, Oklahoma. You know, all these kids that sign in the Congress, these are the offspring of these particular parents, and they push the same racial sentiment on you Jakes. Okay, same thing. So the people that works in your Congress and your city halls and your state halls and stuff like that, your federal governments, they're all children of these racist devils, man. Okay, Margaret Sanger, all these people, they carry the same sentiment that they've always carried, the hatred for you Jakes. And it says here, until she retired in 1996, brushed off the men's race, saying she didn't even see a skin color. Sure. Asked a typical Edomite about how they feel about Jake. They always say, well, I don't see skin color. That's a damn lie. But it says, were they black, she asked. He says, we weren't going off that at all. You've got vandalism and theft going on at your property, trying to protect your property. That's the only issue. But the Fountains are now facing 3 counts of aggravated assault with the deadly weapon without the intent to kill. But what you mean without the intent to kill? They were shooting at these men. Obviously, they tried to kill them, you know. But it says, but the Fountains claimed that they never pointed their weapons at the trio. But however, the arrest report noted that they were reluctant to put down their weapons when ordered by the police. But both male and female were not obeying my commands at first. The arrest report says, but however, they eventually placed their firearms on the ground and laid on the ground away from the firearms. But Charles Gee, an attorney representing McMillan and Clemens, pointed to the wave of anti-black vigilantism that the country is currently seeing as a part of the reason why his clients were targeted. But this country is seeing a wave of anti-black vigilantism, Gee said, and what we're seeing that almost happened is someone taking the law into their own hands, serving as a cop, judge, jury, and ultimate executioner. All right, which they was really trying to execute these Jakes, man. Like, they can say what they want to say, but we know that that was an act of hatred. And this is why, this is the book of Genesis 27 and 36. It says, and he said, is his name not? Matter of fact, let's start here, 34. It says, and when Esau heard of the words of his father, he cried with a great and exceedingly bitter cry. All right, I mean, he was probably turning shit over, kicking stuff, shooting whatever, you know, slingshots, whatever. He was probably going through it with a bitter cry and said unto his father, bless me. He had a tantrum, even me also, O my father. And he said, thy brother hath no subtlety, and taken away thy blessing. And he said, isn't he not rightly named Jacob? For he hath supplanted me these 2 times, and he took away my birthright. And behold, now he hath taken away my blessing. And he said, hast thou not reserved the blessing for me? And Isaac answered and said unto Esau, behold, I have made him thy lord, and all his brethren have I given to him for servants. And with corn and wine I have sustained him. But what should I do unto thee now, my son? And Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling should be the fatness of the earth and the dew of heaven from above, which proves Yahweh Shai gave them the dominion. Okay, he's coming to take it back. He's coming to take that blessing back. And it says here, and by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, The days of mourning for my father are at hand, then I will slay my brother Jacob. Okay? So there you go. This is the reason why they want to kill you Jakes, man. Alright? It's all due to the birthright. This is why the hatred and the tension between us and them have been an ongoing battle since the beginning of time. And it says here, and after these words of Esau, her eldest son, were told to Rebekah, and she sent to call him Jacob, her younger son, and said unto him, Behold, thy brother Esau is touching thee, doth comfort himself, purposing to kill thee. Okay, so Esau, man, though they were right. Okay, those were acts of violence and racism towards Jakes, man. You know, and like we've been saying, things are gonna turn up because hey, you tribes, man, you don't know what it is. You don't understand the hatred that this man has for you. Okay, when he sees you in the streets, he just gun you down mercilessly. Even the ones you work with on a job, they want to gun you down. They just ain't got the opportunity to do so. But I guarantee you, half the Edomites you work with on your job, I guarantee you, half of them go home and they talk shit about how they can't stand Jakes. You know. All right. So this is the book of Genesis 4, and I'm gonna start at verses 4. It says, And Abel bought the firstling of the flock and the fat thereof, and the Lord had respect unto Abel and his offering. But Cain and his offering he had not respect. And Cain was very wroth, and his countenance fell, so he was even rejected then. And the Lord said unto Cain, Why art thou fallen wroth? Why is thy countenance fallen? If thou doest well, shall not be accepted, and if thou doest not well, sin lieth at the door. And unto thee shall be his desire, and thou shalt rule over him. Okay, so this is why Esau is the devil he is today. And Cain, this is really the serpent. And it says, And Cain talked with Abel his brother. And it came to pass, when they were in the field, that Cain rose up against his brother and slew him. And basically he put him to death. Okay? So right there, it shows you the hatred that goes back into even the time of Adam and Eve, man. Okay, because Cain ultimately had the spirit of the serpent in him, Esau. All right, because Cain is nothing more but Esau in the reincarnation, because the word Cain goes into weapon or dagger. Okay, and that's exactly what he was, because it tells you that he was a good artificer, meaning he was good with weaponry and so forth. His whole line of descendants were with that. This is why when you go and Edomite homes or their cellars, you see nothing but guns down there. Like Esau, like basically the guns is like the Bible to Esau. Okay, he can tell you how to take them apart, how to put them together, how to shoot them blindfold, and by naturally they're good with it. They're skilled with the bow, because that's their blessing. Okay, but without that gun, they ain't shit, you know. But anyway, this is another precept here. This is the book of Psalms 17, and I'm gonna start at verses. This is the book of Psalms 17, and I'm gonna start at verses 13. It says, Arise, O Lord, and disappoint him, and cast him down, and deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. Prime example, man. Hey, Jake was returning to U-Haul, and they was getting blasted at by some damn demons, by some devils. All right, and if this don't prove that these people are the freaking devil, then hey, man, you Jakes, you're lost. You're stupid, man. If you can't look in these two individual eyes and tell that they have the spirit of Satan in them. All right, I mean, that's blatantly obvious. All right, anyway, I gotta get ready to get up out of here before they come looking for Jake. You know how it is at work. But anyway, this is the book of Ezekiel 35, and I'm gonna start at verses 5. It says, Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, and the time that their iniquity had an end. All right, it says a perpetual is a continual. And it says, And therefore as I live, says the Lord Yahweh, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. And since thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. So the Lord is going to recompense your own atrocities upon your own head by the nation of Israel. Okay? Because you go in Lamentations, it tells you that our persecutors were swifter than eagles. You know, they fled, they trampled upon us, etc. All right? Matter of fact, Lamentations 4:17, it says, As for us, our eyes as yet failed, For our vain help and our watching, we have watched for a nation that cannot save us, and they hunt our steps that we cannot go in our streets, and our end is near, and our days are fulfilled, for our end is come, and our persecutors are swifter than the eagles of heaven. And that's a sign that these are talking about the Edomites, and they pursued us upon the mountains and laid wait for us in the wilderness. Okay, so man, Jake's finna catch it, man. Jake's finna catch all types of hell until you realize and you wake up that this man is your enemy, and that you gonna have to go at him. There ain't gonna be no hope for you, Jakes, man. But anyway, one more precept. This is the book of Obadiah 1 and 10. It says here, for thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame should cover thee, and thou should be cut off forever. Okay, so you Edomites should finish either way it go. But anyway, with that, all praises and glory and honor that is due to Yahweh Shem Abishai. And with that, Shalom and the Baba Ball.